Psalms 51:17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. These, O God, you will not despise. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode here on Humble Beginnings. Forgive me, I've been dealing with a cold for the past almost week, but we need to get some recording done, so we're going to go ahead and just knock it out. Got some tea here, should help us out quite a bit. Kind of minimize, I guess, the talking for the day, but we definitely need to get some work done. So we got a weeding contract on field 27. We picked up 2 hoeing contracts, this field and the field to our left. So we'll be knocking those out on our own, while the hoeing contract is kind of moving on his own. So the plan for this episode, if we just kind of recap from the last episode, is that we planted 2 oat fields and 1 soybean field. None of our fields need, actually, let's go ahead and double check this. Our soybean field doesn't need weeding, nor does our one of our oat fields. But I didn't check field 16. Let's just double check that. Weeds. Nope. All right. So we don't need to do any weeding on any of our fields. So we're good to go there. I'm not 100% sure when we can harvest. I think once we get turned around, we'll double check our time frame on harvesting. But the plan for this episode is we're going to be doing some contracts, getting some of that stuff kind of buttoned up, make a little bit of extra money. We're going to be selling some product. We got quite a bit over at the farm that we'll be able to sell to kind of pay off some of our debt. I want to start paying down some of that debt right away, and then preparing for harvest. So we won't be harvesting this in this episode. More than likely, we'll be doing a harvest in the next episode. But we are going to be working our way that way in preparation for harvest. So we bought our combine last episode. We bought the John Deere. We still need a header for it, so we'll be working on trying to find a header for it as well. And then just kind of get everything in preparation for the harvest season. All of our greenhouses are still moving along. Our apple juice factory is still doing really well. We got plenty of apples that are moving over that way. That one apple orchard is supplying more than enough apples to our juice factory to kind of keep that running on its own. So we don't need to worry about that. Other than that, yeah, that's the plan. So we're just going to go ahead and start working through some contracts. We're not going to spend a bunch of time just being stagnant. We now have our own fields, but we got a pretty significant loan to pay off, and we don't want to be moving through months just for the sake of moving through months when we can utilize some work around here to kind of get some of that paid down as we are planning for expansion in this episode. Not at this episode, but in year 2, which we're in right now. So let's go ahead and double check our harvest season. So we planted oats, I believe, as early as we could. So we should be harvesting oats. I passed them. Yep. Harvesting oats sometime in July. So in the next 2 months, July and August. Soybeans we won't be harvesting until October. And then we're going to be planting, I'm not sure what we'll plant next year, but hopefully we'll have more fields to plant next year. That's kind of the intent, is to get as many fields and get as much production. We definitely need to be focused on, our silo. And I thought about it too. We might put a small silo in at the farm area that we're at right now, so we can store some of that over the winter, or at least store it until the best price to sell. I don't want to just lose a bunch of money on it for the sake of losing a bunch of money on it. So if we can find a cheap silo that'll store what we got, maybe we'll go ahead and do that for the time being. Hopefully in the next either year 3 or year 4, we'll have our own farm that we can go ahead and really focus on expansion that way. But for right now, we're going to do with what we got. That little piece of land is working really well for us. So we're going to go ahead and knock these 2 weeding contracts out. And I'll catch you guys when we're all done. we got our contracts finished up. I literally checked the contract as soon as we were done. There was no contracts available, so I brought the tractor all the way back home to the farm. And of course, I get back there for the tractor, I'll check again, and there one is. So it's a good problem to have. I'm thankful that we got it. But it would have just been nice and I have to travel all the way back, especially considering we just did field 11 and 12, or 10 and 11. And we got to go up to field 8. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this tractor over to the field, get a worker going on that. We're going to go ahead and look at what product we want to start selling. We're going to get a broker looking for a header for us. And then we're going to look at some products and figure out what we want to sell. I'll see you guys back at the home farm. All right. So we got that guy going. Let's go ahead and grab our trailer. Then we'll go ahead and jump in and see what makes sense for us to sell at this time. Like I said, this is primarily just to go ahead and start paying down some of that debt. There's our trailer. Got some apples spawning. Tell you what, these apple orchards make a ton of apples. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the menu. Let's look at so our apples, we got 38,000 liters for 23,000. Apple juice, that's worth 29, and lettuce worth 58. I think we could sell. We'll either sell apples or we'll sell lettuce. I think apple juice, just because of what it's worth. Let's check the prices. Apple juice, top price is 17. May still a good time to sell. It's not a terrible time. We're still pretty close. We're actually above peak price. Let's at buyer's kiosk. You know what? Let's go ahead and just, as we're above peak price, let's go ahead and sell that. All right, I'll get these loaded up. While we're waiting for this, let's go ahead and check. So we own the John Deere 2550, 305 horsepower. If we go ahead into our shop, maybe we just click on it and see if it'll give us combinations. Do we want the 10 meter or 9 meter? I think let's do a search. We'll do a 3-month search for the header. I didn't see one used in the used market at all, I don't think. No. Okay. So we'll get the broker looking for that while we go ahead and sell this. Hopefully by the time we come into harvest, either in July or August, we'll have plenty of, they'll find us a used one. So I'll catch you guys over at the sales market. All right, let's go ahead and unstrap, pull up here. So we've got 38,000 plus 3,000 environmental scores. So we're looking at about 41,000. So what we're going to do, all of that money is going to go ahead and get put on our loan. Let's go ahead and make a payment. We made 41,000. Go ahead and pay that right back. So our current balance now is $174,586. So the biggest goal really is to have that paid down, completely paid off by the end of harvest season. That way we can get an increase on our credit for any purchases that we want to do for expansion and upgrades come the beginning of year 3 or end of year 2. So I think we'll go ahead and jump back to the farm. I think we'll go ahead and sell some apples or some lettuce right away too. Put some more money down on that. We'll have plenty of money to still do our tithing and also purchase the header if it comes available with the contracts that we're doing between this month and next month. So I'll catch you guys back at the farm. All right, so I went ahead and decided we're gonna go ahead and sell some lettuce. Let's check and see where our best price is for lettuce right now. Lettuce, Big Farmer's Kiosk, so that should be right back where we just were. Let's go ahead and run around to the other side of our greenhouses. Let's see if we got any more over there. And like I said, we're gonna be just putting all this. Oh, we still got peppers going. Hope not. Pretty sure I shut those off. Let's look at Chili peppers, storing. That's not active. Not active. Not active. All right, we'll deactivate that. Oh man, it's almost another full pallet. Let's you know what, let's go ahead and speed up time real quick. Let's get that pallet to spawn, and then we'll deactivate that right away. All right, there we go. Slow time back down, ×5. Take our pallet. Yeah, we don't really have any need to be doing green or chili peppers. They don't supply that much for money. Lettuce is where it's at, so we're gonna keep doing lettuce for now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab this last pallet. Like I was saying before, all this is gonna go towards paying off that debt. Hopefully being debt free before the end of year 2, so we can apply for a larger line of credit, which will definitely help us with expansion. I think we're good with, you know, the harvester that we have, and I think we're good with the equipment that we got right now. You know, maybe a truck to kind of get us moving a little bit quicker. But overall, I think we're pretty good there. We just really need to focus on land. And, you know, then obviously once we get more land, we can worry about bigger equipment like a bigger seeder. You know, eventually a bigger tractor if one comes available at the right time. We did pass up that, I think it was a 9RX, the 9R. We did pass it up. Would have been a great tractor to have, but just didn't seem like it was something that we truly needed at the time. Though it would have been great. The harvester was obviously more important for us coming into the harvest season. And this tractor, both tractors really struggle coming up this hill. It is a big hill, but they do not like this. They do not like this hill at all. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head over to the kiosk, get this sold, put some more money down on our loan, and then we'll see what's next. I'll catch you guys here in a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and see what we get for all this. Another 36,000. That's pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump into our line of credit. $36,000. Perfect. So what I was thinking about on the way here, we're actually pretty close between May and January for the sell amount, the highest price that we're getting. We're actually not too far off. Obviously September being the worst, but if we go ahead and just look at, what do we have? Oh, we had 2,000. Okay. Lettuce, we still got 34,000 liters of lettuce. Holy moly. So I'm thinking we go ahead and do a big sell. So let's look at oysters real quick and just look at 965, 878. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it on the way there. Back to the farm. I'm thinking maybe if we just go ahead and do one big giant sell for this this episode as well, just kind of get it all sold and kind of do a reset. Just because of where we're sitting for price, you know, every month that we go up until January, we're going to start dropping in price. So I think it gives us a good opportunity right now to go ahead and sell everything and really get that debt paid down, if not almost completely paid off. Because I don't think we'll be selling much anymore unless we absolutely need it between now and January, just because of how much the price is going to drop. So I'll think about it once we get on the drive, and we'll kind of figure it out once we get back to the farm. As you can see, I decided we're going to go ahead and sell everything that we have in inventory right now. Just kind of do a little bit of a reset on inventory. It's a good price. It's a good time to sell most of it. You know, overall, I think we'll do really well. We're taking a little bit of a hit selling it now, but it's going to benefit us, you know, later on, come the end of harvest season. And into year 3, when we want to do expansions and get more fields, we'll have a bigger line of credit because we'll have more in the bank. So I think it's a good choice to do it right now. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go load by load. We'll jump back in here with each load and find out how much we get. And we'll start putting that money on our loan, and we'll see how much we can pay down. All right, this is load number 3 overall. See what we get. Overall, $30,000. Let's go ahead and drop it on the line of credit right away. All right, we're down to 110. Let's get the next one. Coming in for load number 4. Sure does load things kind of goofy on this trailer whenever you're putting this much stuff on at one time. But Wow, $47,000. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and put that on our line of credit right away. Make a payment. Let's go 47,000. Perfect. $63,000 left on our loan. We got one more load to bring in. It won't be a full load this time, but it'll still be something. And pulling up here for our last load. Oh, we're gonna lose them. Lost one pallet. 21,000, 22,000. We'll push this pallet in here as well. Gives us a total of about $23,000. So we'll go ahead and put that on our line of credit as well. Make a payment. 23,000. Brings our overall loan down to 41,000. Now we could pay that off, but we also have to remember we got to pay for our header come in the next 2 months. We also do have to tithe in our money. If we go ahead and check contracts, Deadwood, supply contracts, we don't have any of the product for that, so we won't be doing any supply contracts. And we won't be plowing field 22. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and head up to the farm. We'll go ahead and move into the month of June and then see what they have available for us. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and back this up into our shop just so it's out of the weather. We'll go ahead and check our prices screen, our finance screen. Overall for this month, we made a total of $268,000. So we'll go ahead and tithe $26,000 off of that. All right, so we've tithed our money. We sold a bunch of products. We're pretty much at a clean slate. Nothing else is left in our inventory right now. So we're gonna go ahead and skip into the month of June. So we are in June. Nothing for us really to do a whole lot. We picked up a cultivating contract, which I'm not really sure what would have even been harvested. And some barley in June. Okay. And spinach. Looks like a barley field that we're cultivating right now. Probably couldn't got the harvest on that. That would have been pretty nice. I did check the used sales. Our header that we're looking for was not in there. There is a header in there, but it's not the one that we were looking for. The header is, I think, 15 meters. Significantly way too big for our tractor specific, or our harvester specifically. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Hopefully, between now and next month, it'll still pop up. Otherwise, thankfully, we had the finances to purchase it outright if we have to. But it would certainly be nice to, get one at about 40 to 50% off if we can. So we're going to go ahead and knock this contract out. Like I said, the month of June is just going to be contracts. We're not planning on selling anything. We don't necessarily need to. We're just going to keep an eye on the contract market and see what's available. Enjoy the time lapse.
When the night feels heavier than breathing, and the silence starts to lie, when every thought says you're forgotten and tomorrow feels denied, there is a voice that cuts the darkness. There is truth that breaks the fear. You are not alone in this moment. He is closer than you feel. Every lie must bow to truth. Every shadow fades in light. There is freedom in the name of Jesus. There is power when we call him near. Every chain is breaking in his presence. Every captive heart can hear. There is hope that overcomes the darkness. There is life beyond the pain. There is freedom in the name of Jesus, and the enemy has no claim. When your mind becomes a battlefield and the war feels never ending, when the voice of shame keeps shouting that your story's already written, Jesus speaks a better promise. Jesus calls you by your name. What the enemy
I just want to go ahead and jump out and check our field since we're already up here. Stage 3 of 5. We're looking at what's our percentage? 98 out of 100% yield, so that's pretty good. This is the field that we planted later. So unfortunately, we will have, a month gap from when we harvest our first field to when we harvest that one. That's okay. We still have a soybean harvest we'll have to take care of as well. We could also just wait until August to harvest both those fields at the same time. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't wither by then. If we just go ahead and double check that. No, it won't. So oats, August. So we technically could wait till August to harvest both of those and just do a few more contracts in the month of July, or even maybe take some harvesting contracts for somebody else so they can become available. But we'll go ahead and kind of see what's available at the time, I guess. We don't have to make the decision right now. We still have all of the month of June to go ahead and get through before we can worry about that. I did take a stone picking contract. That's out on field 22, I believe. So we got that going. So we'll have to jump over there and unload them whenever they need it. Otherwise, they should be good to go for a while on their own. It looks like they are actually picking stones this time. So that's good. So I want to go ahead and share this verse with you guys. In Joel chapter 2, verse 13, it says, "So rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and great kindness, and he relents from doing harm." So back in the Old Testament times, what they would do is they would tear their garments, they would tear their clothes as a way of showing remorse, or as a way of groaning, and showing that they were resentful for things that they did. And they would cover themselves in ashes as a way of humbling themselves. But in this, right, he's saying to rend your heart, not your garments. And one of the biggest things that, really transpires is that God looks at the heart. And the most important thing we can do is we can have a heart posture towards God that is of humility. And, it says to return to him. And basically what he's talking about is that, we've gone astray. We've pursued our own desires, our own lusts, our own wants, our own needs, and whatever the case might be, right? But he's saying that he's calling out to us, and he desires for us to return to him. And he says that he is gracious and merciful. The Bible says that he is faithful and just to forgive us. It also says that, he says, "I'm slow to anger and of great kindness." Oftentimes people think of God as a God of just condemnation, or a God of just great wrath. But that's not who he is. I mean, he is a God of wrath, and he's an all-consuming fire, which the Bible does say. But his intentions aren't to, he doesn't sit up in heaven all day long just like wanting to, basically fry us with a magnifying glass like ants, right? He looks at us with love and compassion and kindness and mercy. And that's the truth, right? He loves each and every one of us, desires for each and every one of us to come back to him. So here he's talking about to rend our hearts, to put our hearts in a posture of humility that says, okay, I come back to you, I give my life back to you. Forgive me for the things that I've done that went against your word and who you are. And then it's a posture of surrender back to him, because he is gracious and he is merciful. And he says he's, like I said, it's by grace we're saved, and it's because of his love. So I just want to share that with you guys. Like I said, we're about 80% done with this contract. We're going to go ahead and finish it up. We'll jump over to the other tractor and kind of see where they're at once we get this finished, and see what else we have for the month of June. Talk to you guys here in a little bit. Well, and just as we said we'd get this contract finished up, it decided to start raining. So we're going to go ahead and make it to the end. We'll go ahead and shut it down, and we'll go ahead and wait for the rain to finish. All right, so we'll just go ahead and unload this guy right here. It is currently 8:20 or 6:20. Sorry, excuse me. It was really weird. So it said that we should have been done with the rain by 9 o'clock. Well, it was 9 o'clock when I had first mentioned that it was raining. And I fast forwarded a bunch of time. For some reason, it didn't stop raining, even though the symbol up on the top right showed cloud. but it just kept raining. So I eventually went into the easy dev menu and I shut the rain off, so we can kind of keep moving along here. As you've seen, I picked up a couple different contracts. I got a cultivating contract that I'm doing, a spraying contract, which I think is finished up, a fertilizing contract, which I got one of my guys going on, and then a hoeing contract, which we picked up. So I went ahead and started those while I was unloading our stone picker. But yeah, so we got a few things going on. Unfortunately, we're pretty much losing pretty much the entire month of June due to that rain. I should have just kind of went in easy dev and canceled that earlier. But like I said, it showed it was supposed to stop at around 5 o'clock. The symbol finally went away, but the rain itself never stopped. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll deal with the month of June as it is. We still have $101,000 in the bank, so I think we're still doing really well. We got a couple contracts we'll be able to collect from. So I made some money this month, but it won't be, nearly as much money as we could have potentially made, had we not have had a whole month of rain. But it does happen, rain is part of farming. That's just kind of the way it works. But yeah, officially, I'm gonna go ahead and get this contract finished up, and we'll catch up with you guys here shortly. All right. Well, so far no other contracts have come up, so I think we'll go ahead and finish up this stone picking contract ourselves. They're doing pretty good on the weeding and pretty good on the fertilizing, so we'll just kind of leave them go and tend to themselves for now. We'll go ahead and finish this up. So I'm going to go ahead and time lapse this. So enjoy the time lapse. Okay, we're up here at the shop, and we'll just pop into the shop menu, and I'll show you why. So in the used market, we did not find our header yet. This is the only one that's here, the HD50. That's not the one we're looking for. Way too big for the harvester that we have. But in the used market, we have this case, this case Steiger. It goes from 360 horsepower to I think 600 and something. It is on sale right now, 50% off at $35,000. It starts out at 360 horsepower, but we can bump that up to 550 for 37,000, or we can go all the way up to 600 for 41. Is that as high as it goes? 625. So we can go all the way up to 625. For $42,146. Now we definitely want to do the twin wheels. It's got no stickers on it. Decals, yeah, we want to see all the decals. There we go. Quick hitch, we want the quick hitch. Monitor, we want the. Can we get them all? All be 50,000. Front weight, I think that's good enough. Beacon, we'll do one beacon on there. So $51,000, we're gonna have a 625 horsepower tractor. So I think we're gonna go ahead and buy this. Now I know we need the header, and the header is a priority, but because we can go ahead and wait to harvest until August, I think we'll be okay. We got a couple contracts are gonna be coming in yet. That fertilizing contract plus the hoeing contract. Plus, we can take some other things coming for the month of July if we have to. But I think just for what we're getting for this tractor and what it cost us, we just couldn't pass it up. It now offers us the ability to pick up a bigger planter, bigger seeder, bigger weeder, bigger hoe, pretty much bigger everything. And now I think, honestly, we're set as far as, big tractors are considered. Because this can literally do it all. So I think It was a good decision, a good buy, just because it popped in the used market. We couldn't let it go. We couldn't pass it up. With all the cultivating contracts coming up, we did that little one. We definitely realized, or I definitely realized, that we need to have a bigger cultivator, especially if we want to be productive and get things done. And search just said it. Search failed, so we don't have the header we're looking for. So we will have to buy that brand new. That's okay. Like I said, we can always go ahead and harvest some things, or do some contracts for the month of July if we need to. I think we'll still be able to harvest it in June if we wanted to. I think we could afford the header as it is. But I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode. Next episode, we're definitely going to be doing some harvesting, some field prep, and hopefully, if not in the next episode, the episode beforehand, we should be doing some expansion. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want to. If not, either way, I just appreciate everyone watching and joining me on this adventure. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Humble Beginnings.